we want to look at the political implications, because I asked a question wrapping up the show yesterday. I said, are we going to get new commissioners? If not, how will those ministries function? One, two, this ministry is a very sensitive ministry. For instance, the Ministry of Justice, and it is key. It has been key in previous years. It is key. We just talked about reforming the judiciary, so that the person who heads that ministry is also key. So we're looking at the political implication, and we also once upon a time talked about the fact that Professor Zacchaeus Adango had been quiet for too long, with all the enactment of laws flying left, right, center from the legislative arm of government, with a talk about the politics of loyalty and the structure and all of that stuff. So yeah, we talked about it, and just to remind you, the letter he wrote to the SSG, I'm talking about Zacchaeus Adango now, he said, my attention has been drawn to your letter dated 23rd April 2024 and widely circulated on social media, whereby I was deployed to the Ministry of Special Duties Governor's Office. Further to the reference letter, I hereby give you notice of my rejection of the said deployment and resignation from the Rivers State Executive Council with effect from 24th day of April 2024. I wish to state for the record that I am no longer willing to continue to serve the administration of His Excellency Sir Siminalayi Fubara JSSR as Governor of Rivers State in any capacity whatsoever. It is important to mention that the Governor of Rivers State had in the past couple of weeks willfully interfered with the performance of my duties as the Honorable Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice Rivers State by directing me not to defend, oppose or appear in suits instituted against the Honorable Attorney General of the Government of Rivers State by persons admittedly hired and sponsored by the Government of Rivers State. That having served the government and good people of Rivers State dutifully as a member of the Rivers State Executive Council for the past 5 years, it has become imperative for me to quit the administration in order to preserve my reputation. I wish the administration of His Excellency well. There was a reaction from the Rivers State Commissioner for Information. He described the claims of the former Commissioner for Justice, Zacchaeus Adango, as false. He said he disagreed with the position also of the former Commissioner for Finance on the internally generated revenue of the state. Isaac Kamalu had argued that the statistics given or the data given by the governor about the improved IGR was fake, and the Commissioner for Information disagreed on that. Isaac Kamalu also upped on peace and said that the governor is responsible for the political war ongoing, that he has failed to abide by the peace agreement, and as such, peace has eluded Rivers State. I've got, I don't know how to introduce him these days. It looks like, I can't just introduce him the normal way. But Kenneth Nweke, Professor of Political Science, Ignatius, Ajuru University of Education, is in the studio. Good afternoon, Prof. It's good to have you.
Good afternoon, listeners, and Kalada. Thanks.
I'm sorry I had to drag you from, your enjoyments. I hear you were enjoying somewhere. Welcome. But
is anybody enjoying this?
You look like you're enjoying.
How?
I can't say.
Yeah, Kalada, honesty as just, and with all the plethora of cases in the Rivers State government had, even with neighboring states, internally, both the ones that Kalada could have been accused of something, and the Attorney General will go and stand in, whether rightly or wrongly. So provided he was directed by the government of the state, of course, who also happened to be the governor of the state as at the time he was serving under the former governor. Of course, if you look at the piece there, I just watched what my friend wrote, I'm also wondering whether he could have summoned that kind of courage to write to Governor Nweke at the time, assuming, without considering that if not everything the same, all the variables put in constant, could any one of them have written to him at the time? In fact, before you even dare that, you're already behind, So But unfortunately, this is where we find ourselves. For me,
Sorry, are you insinuating that nobody could have resigned on that? Because I know some people resigned.
how many under Nweke?
Yes, a couple.
Apart from
not
a commissioner for information, then was this cricket chap, Dr. Austin.
Okay.
Yeah. So
well, we had some aides, we had some people appointed by the governor or the then governor.
Even when, before you hear of resignation, probably you may have asked them to say, "Guy, go."
Okay.
Do you understand?
Okay.
Guy, go. You know what I mean? Just leave, and of course you just have to. So, but the point I'm making is, I don't think that any one of them would have written to Governor Nweke and to say, I reject this
appointment.
No, this is redeployment.
Yeah, reappointment. You can put it that way.
No,
Okay, let's go redeployment.
Redeployment.
Okay.
From one ministry. I don't call it deployment. When you appoint, let's call things. I don't follow what people write. I'm an academic and I'm entitled to choice of words.
Okay.
It's redeployment.
Yeah.
It's not deployment. If you appoint me now, you can now say I'm now deployed to social ministry. But if I'm now moved from that ministry, it's redeployment.
Okay.
Yeah. So he was actually redeployed to another ministry or another agency of government or another assignment under the governor's office, special duty. Okay. So the point I'm making, could any one of them have written at the time when Governor Nweke was a governor to say, I reject this redeployment? Okay, on the grounds that XYZ, that you interfered in the last few weeks or of recent. None of them could have done that. I bet you. And I challenge anybody who will call into this studio to say that anybody could have dared the former governor to do so.
Okay, but let's focus on the reason.
So, but again, talking about the reasons, interference. Of course, any attorney general and commissioner of justice does not stand on his own. Canada, who born the person?
Any?
No. Of any state or of any country.
Even the Attorney General of Nigeria.
How? He takes orders from the president.
Okay.
He's an appointee of the president. He's an employer of the president. And so, yes, serving the state, no doubt. So the president has, the powers to hire and fire. And so, whatever. And that's why Attorney General, sometimes Attorney General appears in a case and says that the state is withdrawing from this. You think that Attorney General is appearing for Attorney General, this same Attorney General I'm talking about, there was a case, was Ephraim Uzi also, was accused of one thing. And but he was the person who was also appearing for the state. And when it came to the point of also withdrawal, he was also the person who also stood in to say the government was withdrawing. Was he doing that on his own account? No, it was the state. I want to talk about the government.
But it is believed that when people are appointed into the cabinet, they have some level of freedom.
Which freedom? Even here, do you have freedom? Ask yourself.
Some level.
The freedom you have is this mic you're having now. There's a way this mic, you handle it now. In fact, you'll be called to order now. Yes, it will be taken off from you, including me in this studio.
Yes, true.
There's a way, my actions, inactions will infringe the business of Nigeria Info, one way or the other. This mic will be shut down, taken off from me. Take it that way. So it means that if you work for anybody who hires you, you are completely loyal to that person. And you must be seen to be loyal. So, but the loyalty does not mean stupidity in the concept of Nigerian politics. Here is, what I call the syndrome of life or grand. The person matches you and pass. So, the concept of loyalty, I said it before, that it's also almost amounting to somebody telling you, how often that you perform your, civic responsibilities to your in quotes in your home. And so that's Nigeria. So for me, for my friend Prosadango, yes, he's within his rights. Okay,
let's go for a commercial. When we do come back, we continue. listening to 92.3 Nigeria Info. This is Hard Facts. I am Kala Dakurubatbo. I have with me Professor Kenneth Nweke, and we're looking at the political implications of the resignation. And he was just telling us, or he was just, telling us his thoughts on the reasons given by the people who resigned from the cabinet. So, welcome back, Prof.
Thank you.
All right. So, you were saying something about, the reasons. So, can you continue from where you left off?
So, I was saying that if you look at, he's within his right to say, I reject this. Okay? And, but he would have simply thrown in his resignation without actually say I reject. Are you going to say? Yeah, without it's just flaunting on. It doesn't take anything, because if you work for somebody, an employer, no matter what, you still should demonstrate that loyalty until you leave. Because that your employer sustained you until when you took that decision. And
so there should be that level of
respect.
Yes,
of course, that respect. And then for me, it's a governor. Do you understand what I'm saying? So to say I rejecting what? I mean, it's like, just to say, what can you? No, you didn't. I mean, because don't forget, we have children. They are watching. People are also growing. The manner in which you also respond to these things. People are also learning and can also make references to you tomorrow. Can even make references about your father tomorrow and all that. So, but it wasn't nice to have said I reject. So it could just simply, that no longer can see no reasons to continuously work under this administration. And like they said before, some of them said on personal reasons.
When I was going to go to that now.
Yes.
When they said on personal reasons the first time, a lot of us said they didn't give enough, explanation as to why they were leaving. It was political. Now they've given explanation, and you're saying it's disrespectful.
No. Yes, in the first place, I'm not saying whatever reasons within their rights. Don't get me wrong.
Okay,
it's within their right to say, I don't want to work again now. Force. Do you understand? So, but I can also understand why you want to say I reject, because when you accepted that appointment, okay, even if whoever that facilitated that appointment may have done that for a particular purpose, we have seen cabinet reshuffle, severally.
Yeah, we have.
You've seen even an attorney general becoming a commissioner for education. Or becoming going to another ministry.
Isaac Kamalu's
it was in budget and is it planned?
No, it was somewhere else and was taken to the finance ministry.
Of course. So are you saying? So first of all, you are a member of the the ESCO, the State Executive Council, right? And so it is within the purview of the governor to redeploy anyone. It can be minor cabinet reshuffle. You go here. I get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when, because of the circumstances that brought these ones and the concept of godfatherism, I get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
in politics. And so this is to say, I will hold, I will nominate who becomes Attorney General, because it's very, very important, and Commissioner for Justice. I will nominate, key ministries, finance, education, I get what I'm saying? Works, all those ones. So probably is no longer working out, okay? And so you think that you take a bow. There's nothing wrong in taking a bow, but because if you also look at it, you see that level of disrespect, disloyalty has been on.
But now, as a political scientist, where should loyalty lie? This is quite
loyalty should lie first. Let's face fact.
Yeah.
To your appointer.
Not the state.
No, first. Somebody appoints you, Canada first.
No. We're looking at it from a political scientist, a political scientific view. Government is for the people, by the people, of the people.
Listen now.
I'm listening.
First of all, before you became anybody, somebody brought you there.
Okay.
This thing that is giving them all that it takes, the boldness to say, I reject. And boldness to now begin to give write letters like Obasanjo, long list. Some of them now writing long list. But thank God for Adango, his own was not long.
Yeah.
At least 1 page or so. Two pages.
Yeah.
He spilled to 2 pages, 1.5, so to say. But the other one was like a love letter or whatever. So, you see, the truth is that you are first loyal to who appointed you. And of course, know that even whoever that has appointed you is working as part and parcel of the government of Rivers State. One, as an individual. Because when you talk about government of Rivers State or government of a state, Canada, on a letterheaded paper, it is beyond just the governor of a state.
Okay.
It's beyond the secretary to
the state government.
It's beyond the commissioner. It's put together totality, including the civil servants. But even the cleaners in some agencies and other, the totality of what government represents, constitutes the government of Rivers, including the other organs of government. Are you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even if this actually depicts the executive arm of government, but it is not acting in isolation of the 3 other arms of government. Are you know what I'm saying? When you talk about government of Rivers State, it carries weight. So first, you are loyal to the man who brought you there. Secondly, to the government of the state, and invariably to the people.
So first, let's get
yes.
This. First to the person who appointed you,
live,
and then to government, which is all arms of government, executive, legislative, and even the judiciary,
and the people. Because when I talk about government and people of Rivers State, when you talk about Rivers State, it's not just about the government. It includes the government and the people. And so loyalty first goes to who appointed you. The loyalty goes to the government of the state. Of course, somebody is also at the helm of affairs when you talk about the government. Because when you talk about governor, you are isolating him as an individual. But the other way around, he's the head of government. Are you know what I'm saying? So the totality of all of this, you must be loyal to the man who appointed you, that's the governor. You must be loyal to the government of Rivers State as a whole. You must be, because the government of Rivers State includes the people. You must be loyal to the people. And so, because the totality of all of this will give you or guarantee you or your principal a comeback. Are you know what I'm saying? Because it's part of the social contract.
Yeah.
And so it's critical. Your actions, inactions determine to a large extent whether your principal would remain or not in terms of deliverables. And so that loyalty must be there. Loyalty in terms of deliverables. Loyalty in terms of doing what it takes, to be able to live up to the social contract. Are you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so ordinarily, you can't also have, in a team where, you are loyal to somebody else outside, the government. And so who are you working for? You're working for somebody in Abuja, and then there's somebody who is the head of government in Rivers State here. It doesn't work.
In a situation, because the other day we had a conversation on ethics and values. In a situation where someone appointed me, but I'm a Nigerian, and I feel like I should follow what is right for Nigerians and disobey my, my boss, my employer, would that be me failing politics?
No, Canada. Let me tell you, your boss can't say, it's based on principles, right? You have integrity.
Okay.
For instance, I work for a university, right? And so my boss in the university, being the vice chancellor, cannot ask me to do something unethical.
But what if he does?
No.
Because
listen, I'm coming.
Zacchaeus said, Professor Zacchaeus said, his reputation is doing this for his reputation. So I'm asking, what if something unethical? Because he's saying that
no, and that is where you are entitled to live up to that. Okay. You are now on trial. So the fact that what my friend stated there about influencing, does not hold water, because as Attorney General and Commissioner of Justice, he does not hold his own opinion as Professor Zacchaeus Adango. Take it from me or leave it. He does not have his own opinion. The opinion is the opinion of the government of Rivers State. And the government of Rivers State is also, the head of government is the governor of Rivers State. Are you know what I'm saying? And so sometimes it's difficult for you to separate the actions of the governor and his inactions from the inactions of government of a state.
Okay.
I go saying because somebody is acting on behalf of the state. The state is not just, when you talk about the state, it is, I mean, it is about the institutions. It's about, it goes beyond structures. It also goes beyond persons.
All right. So let's look at the one from the reasons from Isaac Kamalu, saying the governor is the one preventing peace from coming into Rivers State. Do you think that, I mean, we've seen the governor say on several occasions that I'm a man of peace, I want peace, my disposition is peace. But Isaac Kamalu, and by the way, I did reach out to him. He was supposed to be the one having the conversation, but he said he's not in town, he's not available, and he will call me in the nearest future. However, back to you, Prof. He said, and being a part of the cabinet, that he saw, in close range, the governor not allowing peace reign. What do you make of that reason?
For us, I don't know, probably they that sits there, there's something that they see. We some of us, sit in the classrooms and maybe move from classrooms to, our libraries, and then we are studying the society and we are looking at them. Probably what they are seeing there, we are not seeing. But let me tell you for free. You see, he can't talk less than where his loyalty lies. Okay?
Okay.
And the man who's also told you that he will talk to you in how many of them, under the former governor could come to a studio and, you just call and say, I want you to come to studio and talk about your ministry. Few of them. Probably I give it to the Commissioner of Education, my friend and colleague, Professor Chinedu Mom. Okay? Yeah. But probably on issues around the schools and all that, freely.
Yeah.
Severally he appears and he talks.
Sure.
And he's a man of character. Okay, I give it to him, no matter how the politics, wherever it is swinging to and all that. So, but beyond him and a few others, you understand? So how many could just come to the studio or anywhere and grant a press conference? You dare not do it now. Who born you? And so, of course, the man who is also telling you will talk to you in the future, be sure that he will never talk to you. But that's by the way.
No, he may. He may.
I say that's by the way. Okay, maybe except authorized to do so.
Right.
So that's also, that takes us to the issue of loyalty that we talk about. Yes, he talked about the issue of peace. Peace. I don't see if there's anybody who can be, from where I sit, who can be said to be very peaceful in all of this, is this present governor. Because Kalada, if I were to sit there, I won't take, yes, even if it's 3 months, it can be just finished. You can finish, and then we just come back and then begin to count where we are, because we need to get rid of godfatherism in this state for us to move forward.
But what if he's doing the same, but he's doing it in a more subtle way, quiet way, where he's fighting, but he's not putting it out there on display?
Yes, you see, when you talk about, he has a very peaceful disposition. I give it to him. Very peaceful disposition. I've never worked with him. I don't have any affiliation with him. Okay, so but from a distance, I can see the man, and I'm sure that because of his peaceful disposition, that earned him the choice of becoming
the governor. Okay.
I got saying. So if you see him, even alluding to the 8-point agenda, was like, how?
But you see, that's the point. He has said he's agreeing to it, but he has not in total agreed to it.
No, Carl, don't say that. How?
For instance, resummation of the budget.
Wait now. Before the budget, budget had been passed by one faction, right? Loyal to him. Don't forget.
I remember.
So, and then these other ones that are there, the 27, whether they are 27 or whether they are increasing or decreasing,
27.
they are still 27. They are intact.
Yeah.
Fine. So, they were also on the other side, right? And so probably the matter went to court. Represent the budget. And of course, you know that if that guy takes in the budget for reconsideration, you can be sure of how that budget will be dissected, and maybe, and I think that.
But we're talking about agreement, and I get your point. But he agreed. We're talking about peaceful disposition. But he agreed.
Now he give somebody out of 8 points, and implemented like 5 to 6.
Okay.
I don't say Haba, and then Kalada out of 8, and they implemented. Okay. They talked about caretaker committee. He shouldn't do this. Did he tamper with local government? He didn't tamper, and the local government chairman are all working and pointing, accusing fingers.
But he has not done local government elections.
Why should he do local government elections? No, let me ask you now. I don't know why people don't have. I am speaking on both sides, an academic and a son of the state, that I'm entitled to speak what I want to speak. So why should a sitting governor, conduct local government election? One, those appointed into the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission appointed by previous government, and you talk about the loyalty that is almost 100% +1. So
for the previous government.
Yeah, for the previous government. So how can he guarantee that the 8 of them there will be 100% loyal to him?
But his government, he could decide to change.
No, he will not change, except he goes back to the House of Assembly to ask for dissolution.
Oh, I see.
Yes, he can't arbitrarily do that.
I see.
Then secondly, now you can find that his party is having issues about who is the leader and who is not leader. So should he now, voting money to Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission that will not be less than 2 billion naira to people he does not trust, people whose loyalty, you can see Adango and co, whose loyalty are 100%, and of course that same thing that I'm not saying people can change loyalty at any given time, and so that's one. Two, the political party in which he came under through, there appears to be issue of leadership. And then don't also forget, the political leader is holding one here is serving in APC government and also dictating, influencing what's happening in APC, and on one hand is still holding this other side. He attended the NEC meeting, and so it is in Nigeria today where somebody can literally become a member of one political party on paper, and in spirit and body another become a member of another political party without anybody sanctioning the person. And so in that kind of circumstance, why should he now conduct local government election? But under what platform would he sponsor candidates for councillorship and chairmanship?
No,
I'm asking you. Tell me.
Prof, I'm not a politician.
You don't need to be a politician.
I'm not a political scientist as well.
You don't need to be a politician to do this.
I'm going somewhere. I would ask you a question. You've just given reasons, but could it be seen as inability to play the politics, and that is why it is the way it is? Because let's do comparisons with former governors in Rivers State. They probably would have been able to get the loyalties of these people. Like you called the 8 people in RESEC, you've called the people in the political party, his party. Or maybe if his party was not playing ball, he could have used another political party, like we've seen other politicians do.
Oh, you mean the governor?
Yes, I'm talking about the governor. Is it his inability to play the politics, and that's why?
No, don't underrate him.
I'm not underrated. I'm asking you.
No. Don't, yes, I'm also telling you that don't underrate the man. The other day, you saw a group of opposition parties visiting him. I know what I'm saying, and aligning with his government.
IPAC, yeah.
IPAC. I know what I'm saying. Aligning with whatever he's doing. What do you think? Those are openings that are there, because listen, the former governor has made us to note that even if it's an obvious thing, that political parties in Nigeria are mere vehicles to ascend to the corridors of power.
Okay.
As soon as they drop you, guy, don't go. Do you understand? And so you can decide to say, I don't want tax again. But unfortunately, not for those in the legislature, because something is holding them. That vehicle you entered, it will remain the vehicle you assigned to you.
All right.
Because when you change, of course, you lose your seat, because that's the law.
Okay. Let's open the phone lines. Let's get a few thoughts. I'll come back to you, and maybe I should just let you think over the questions I still have to ask. Is there a political solution to this? And given the hostility between the legislative arm and I mean, I like the way you've defined government for us. You've taken us back to secondary school. It is the executive, the legislative, and the judiciary that makes up the government, not just the executive, as we would say the River State government normally. But then. The hostility between government now, legislative and executive, would we see the possibility of the replacement of these commissioners that have left? Remember, Commissioner for Works left as well, and there's been no replacement. Do you think the civil service now, the permanent secretaries, can be able to man these very sensitive ministries?
So who?
You wanted to say something?
Yes. So who, if they cannot man?
I asked the question.
No, I'm asking. I'm also returning back to you. So if these ones that are commissioners, where did they bring them from?
They are believed to be, administrators, technocrats, politicians.
And so, civil servants, what should they be?
Interesting.
So, okay. So, what you think that people who now become appointed as permanent secretaries, don't you also note that somehow there's partisanship even in the choice of who becomes a permanent secretary?
From my knowledge, it is based on rankings.
Ranking. Okay, so rank and see whether.
But if that be the case, then why are we having commissioners? Why don't we have permanent secretaries form the cabinet? Let's look at it from that angle.
No. The Constitution anticipates. Expects that you must have executive, right? And the completeness of the executive, like in the case of a state, the governor and the executive council. And don't also forget, the executive council is not only made up of commissioners.
Oh, okay.
There are key government functionaries by adoption.
Okay.
By any governor of a state that can now say, Kalada is the head of this agency and must sit in the state executive council because the portfolio that he holds enables him to sit there.
I was going to say amen. I remember a pastor, a prof. I was going to say amen.
So the permanent secretaries can function very optimally with the governor.
All right, then.
To deliver.
I still have one question I've asked, but I hope you think on that one. Let's go to the phone lines now. I've got a couple of messages, but let's go to the phone line. I've got Zion. Okay, before Zion, I've got Susie from Irema. We'll take Susie and then Zion. Susie, welcome. What is on your mind? I'd like to hear from you.
Yeah, I greet your guests in the studio. The first question is, he talked about the statement made by the prof, which is Attorney General of the state. And then he also put it together with his own perception. I reject, and I don't work again by force. I don't know the distinction between I reject and I don't want to, because he said that the man shouldn't have said I reject, but should have said I don't want to work again by force. I don't know the difference.
I don't think that's what he said, but go ahead with your point.
That was what he said. Then another thing again is that Nweke is in another political party and dictating another political party, and he's a prof. From your introduction, I don't know if actually we have anywhere in the world where there is a system of government that is so pure without an element of the other government that we know. Like I can say democracy. In democracy, you could also see authoritarianism. You could also say Unitarianism. And what I see that is happening today in Nigeria, that Nweke is serving as a minister in the dispensation of an opposition party at APC, for me, has an element of Unitarianism. So for me, I believe that Nweke is not in two political parties because he has not left PDP from his own misconception. I want to believe that Nweke is still a member of PDP and is a major stakeholder in BOT, in Nweke, and in all the faculties of the PDP.
All right, Susie, I've got to go.
All of them. And nobody has made him to leave PDP to that extent. Thank you,
Susie. Thank you very much. I've got Zion from GRA. Zion, welcome. What is on your mind? I'd like to hear from you.
Yeah, good evening to you, sir.
Yes, Zion, I greet you specially.
You don't make this conversation and you break and reach ground. Even the market people understand. So refreshing. Thank you for coming.
Thank
and
you.
Canada, thank you for connect such a research person to the studio to analyze critical matters like this.
Some people don't agree with him, by the way. Susie just called it, just so you know.
I agree with him. Even the blind understood. I see even the market woman understood what he's talking about.
Understanding
When
and
you
agreeing
ask
are two
the
different things.
There's agreement. People can disagree with you even if you are there. They will disagree with you that why you are there.
All right.
You should be somewhere else. Is it not so?
All right then.
So disagreement is inconsequential when there are facts and figures on ground.
Okay.
The truth is this: the resignation of these men from that cabinet is a show of one pomposity. They are pompous. They are not humble, and they don't love River State.
All right then. All right, Zion, I've got to go.
Look at the office of the special duty to the special duties. You know what that means? He was the one that would have given us fire service in River State. He was the one that, oh my goodness.
All right, Zion, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Zion. This one says, Kalada, your guest is an erudite professor. He has just stated the obvious. So says, why unlike Lagos after election, politicians go back to their individual business. We don't hear Amuede, Akpeje, etc. because these guys are businessmen, but yeah, the only job is politics and church. Ernest from Woji. Okay. So many other messages. This one says, bravo to the able professor, is tutorial like analysis. Prof, you made my day. Melody. All right, thank you very much, Melody Uniport. We'll go for a quick break. When we come back, we talk some more.
Tech enthusiasts
Our time is fast spent. A lot of messages that have poured in, but Prof would have to leave the studio now. So, Prof, your final word. And I remember I asked you a question. Is there a political solution to all of these happening?
See, when you talk about political solution to the problem, is probably the man that the former governor derives his strength. Because those who are also resigning and writing boldly are writing because they believe that there's another strength somewhere in Abuja, okay? And of course, they are also afraid of where they want to be tomorrow. So that concern is there. So if the man who cuts the shot says, hi, I've given you a job in Abuja, concentrate on this job. And of course, the man will not also do so because his eyes are on 2027.
All right.
I'm very unfortunate that I don't see an end in sight.
So we're going to go on this till
no. This one is dessert. What you are finding now is dessert. we are just nothing. It's either, it's like in a battlefield. It's either, so whatever, it's there.
Right.
So either you go down,
all right.
On top. So.
All right. Thank you very much, Kenneth Nweke, Professor of Political Science, Ignatius, Ajuru University. It's a pleasure having you in the studio.
Thank you, Kalada and Rivers people. Unfortunately, we are here.
You have to go back to your enjoyment.
Of course. Oh, no, sorry. I'm still thinking.